All right, in this part of Great Expectations, things are about to get insanely intense. Our guy, Pip, is trapped in this deadly game of cat and mouse. He's trying to protect his benefactor while at the same time he stumbles onto a secret so huge it's going to change absolutely everything. We've got two dangerous paths about to collide and Pip is standing right in the middle. So let's break down how this all goes down.
I mean, seriously, think about that. This is the terrifying spot Pip finds himself in right now. His benefactor, the convict Provis, isn't just a secret, he's a hunted man. And the hunter is getting closer and closer, forcing Pip and his friends into this desperate plan where just one wrong move could mean disaster for everyone. So let's set the scene. For weeks, Pip's just been living with this gnawing anxiety, But a single piece of news is about to crank that fear all the way up and turn it into a very real, very immediate threat. And then, bam, Pip gets a message from the always-in-the-know Wemmick, and it's basically his worst nightmare come true. Provis has returned to England. Yeah, it's not a secret anymore. And even worse, Pip's own apartment has been watched. Someone knows, and they are actively looking for Provis.
So who's the hunter? Of course it's Compeyson, the one man Provis truly fears, the villain from his past. He's here, he's in London, and he's on the hunt. And this creates this terrifying imbalance of power, right? Provis is a fugitive who faces certain death if he's caught, while Compeyson gets to walk around the city freely. The danger is officially off the charts.
Okay, so the enemy is basically at the door. What do? Well, you come up with a desperate plan. The goal is simple, but getting there is going to be incredibly risky. They have to get Provis out of London and out of England before Compeyson tracks him down. And this is where Herbert, what a great friend, really steps up. He thinks fast. The first move? Get Provis away from Pip, because Pip's the one being watched. So he sets up a new hiding spot for Provis at the house where his fiancée Clara lives. It's a quiet little place right by the river, perfect for laying low and, hopefully, for a quick escape later.
And the plan, you guys, it's actually pretty brilliant. It's got two main parts. First, you cut the link between Pip and Provis. Pip will not go anywhere near the new safe house. This should, hopefully, throw anyone watching him off the trail. Second, you build a cover story. Pip and Herbert buy a boat and just start rowing on the Thames every day. It'll just look like they picked up a new hobby, but what they're really doing is practicing, getting ready, so when the time comes to sneak Provis onto a steamer ship, nobody will think twice about seeing them out on the water.
And the moment they part ways, wow, it's just so heavy. As Pip leaves Provis at the new hideout, the old man grabs his hand and says he doesn't like goodbye. It's this really poignant, heartbreaking moment that just highlights the very real chance that this could be the last time they ever see each other. Okay, so just when you think you know where this is going, this high-stakes thriller, right? The story just slams on the brakes and takes a hard left turn. The focus shifts from the whole escape plan to what seems like just a normal dinner invitation. But this dinner is about to kick off the chapter's second and honestly, even bigger mystery. You gotta picture this. Weeks are just crawling by. Pip and Herbert are out there rowing every day with this constant weight of being watched hanging over them. There's no word from Wemmick, no news about an escape route. Life is just this tense, awful waiting game. And then, completely out of the blue, Mr. Jaggers, the lawyer who connects pretty much everyone in Pip's life, invites him to dinner. At this dinner, Jaggers just casually drops a bomb that completely shatters Pip's world all over again. Estella, the woman he has loved for his entire life, is married. And not just to anybody, to his cruel, awful rival, Drummle. Pip is just devastated. But it's right in the middle of this emotional wreckage that his eyes land on something. Something that's been right in front of him this whole time.
And right here, this is the moment. The whole chapter, maybe even the whole book, pivots on this one tiny observation. A simple passing glance that is about to unlock a secret that has been hiding in plain sight for years. So Pip's heart is just broken, right? His mind is reeling from the news about Estella, and he just happens to look up and see Jaggers' quiet, intense housekeeper, Molly. She's just putting a dish on the table, but something about the way she does it, a very specific movement of her fingers, kind of like she's knitting. It just grabs his full and total attention.
At first, it's just her hands. Just that one subtle, familiar little motion that sparks something, a tiny flicker of recognition in his brain. And then his eyes travel up from her hands to her eyes to her hair, and this wave of, wait a minute, just hits him. He knows he's seen those features before, and very recently. He connects them instantly. to Estella.
And then it's like a lightning bolt. All those weird feelings he's had around Estella over the years, those little moments of connection that never quite made sense, suddenly they all just click violently into place.
And the thought that forms in his head is immediate. It's absolute. There is no doubt, no question. He knows with complete certainty that this woman, Molly, Jaggers' quiet housekeeper, is Estella's mother. The highborn woman he's worshipped for years is the daughter of a servant.
But okay, if she's Estella's mother, who is Molly? Pip's shocking realization is only half the story. And believe me, the truth about our past is way darker and more twisted than he could ever imagine. So Pip is just completely shaken, right? He leaves the dinner with Wemmick, and on the way home, he has to ask. He's got to know, who is Molly? Who is this wild beast that Jaggers supposedly tamed? And Wemmick, in confidence, tells him a story.
And the story Wemmick tells him is, well, it's a shocker. It turns out that Molly's past is a lot more violent than her quiet job suggests. About 20 years ago, she was on trial for her life, accused of murder, accused of strangling another woman in a fit of jealous rage. So here's the breakdown of the case. Molly was accused of killing a woman who was bigger and stronger than she was. Her lawyer, and you can probably guess who, was Mr. Jaggers. He argued she was too small, too delicate for such a violent crime. He claimed the scratches all over her hands were from blackberry bushes, not from a desperate fight. But here's the crucial detail. At the time of the murder, Molly had a little girl, about 3 years old, who suddenly vanished, and everyone assumed Molly had killed her too. And Jaggers, being Jaggers, pulls off this masterful defense and gets her acquitted. But then, and this is so Jaggers, he doesn't just let her walk away. He takes her into his service, he tames her, and he keeps her under his thumb as his housekeeper ever since. And this is where your jaw just hits the floor. Let's connect all the dots here. Molly, the accused murderer, she had a lost daughter. Provis, the convict, he also had a lost daughter. Jaggers was the lawyer for both of them? And who was it that brought a baby girl named Estella to Miss Havisham all those years ago? It was Jaggers. The conclusion is just, it's inescapable. Estella's parents are a convict and an accused murderer.
So think about that. Pip started this whole ordeal just trying to save one man's life, and he ends up uncovering the truth about another's. He's now holding a secret that completely shatters the foundation of Estella's identity, and frankly, his own great expectations. The real question is, now that he knows, what on earth is he going to do with this information? And how will it change everything that's still to come?